Fog Racing back again. As you can see, we're in Australia and it is the F122 career mode, and we have went for 0-0 wings, guys. It could be a disaster, it could be a great thing, but we've managed to qualify P3. Leclerc on pole, Hamilton, ourselves, Verstappen, Perez. Let's dive in to 29 laps of chaos around Aussie. Is it Aussie rules? Who knows? But with 0-0 wings, we've got the straight line speed, we just don't have the cornering ability. And you know what? I'm going to showcase it a lot throughout this race. But Leclerc and Hamilton, Hamilton nearly absolutely clean wiping us out. We're trying to get into the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton, but he goes pretty well. You know what? It was a pretty good defensive manoeuvre for Hamilton, and he's actually held on to the position. But moving on to lap one, well, I'll say lap one, the rest of lap one. As you can see, look at this. I've uploaded this in a short, but look at the straight line speed that we are getting throughout this sector. I mean, we've literally just pulled 9/10 on it without DRS, up to 210 miles an hour. Job done. Moving on to lap two, the exact same Leclerc. We couldn't get him into that corner, but as you can see, the benefits, it's more the top end speed where it's completely overpowered. Like once you get above like 190, that's when we destroy the AI. But we overtake our teammate on lap 2, and surely we shouldn't look back. But moving on to lap 5 of a 5/10 gap, they just can't really overtake us. But we run wide, and it's almost into the barrier. We rejoin us, and on and we've been rear-ended by Max Verstappen. The safety car is out. We've got a fat. Oh, we've spun into the wall, man. Jesus, no good. But look at this. It was an unsafe rejoin, but it's kind of one of those ones where you just correct the steering, and then he's rejoined, and then there's just been an absolute colossal pileup. We've pinned it for medium, so we're going to start to make another stop. But we rejoined in 11th just due to other cars having problems. But 4 retirements, 2 AlphaTauris in front, and Gasly is on the hard tyre. Is he going to go to the end? Only time will tell. But as you can see, like, the corner ability is just nowhere near there. Like, we're literally losing a second in the final sector. But, you know, like the first 2 sectors, we're gaining like a second and a half on everyone else. So, I mean, it does work that way. But Yuki Tsunoda, he's just no match for this OP strategy that we're making. And even like we overtake Tsunoda, and it literally sets up the next corner for Gasly. Like even here, like you don't get the greatest of the exits, but you know, like we're in behind him, and he's just got no chance, man. I mean, it is a bit overpowered, but you know, we are losing so much pace in the final sector. It's not like it's broke. You know, it's a good strategy. But we've overtook Sainz. Bottas loses the back end. Stroll now, it's just another victim. George Russell, who's holding up all of us, man, because he's got some form of issue. Stroll tries to overtake him. We overtake George Russell. So yeah, I mean, George Russell not had the best start to the season, but now we've overtook Russell and we've slotted in behind in the rear wing of Lance Stroll. And I tell you what, the Aston Martin doesn't seem to have as bad straight line speed as Mercedes. Maybe Mercedes running more downforce, but on the first lap, like we caught Hamilton really easy. Up next though, Lando Norris, as you can see, lap 10. We're getting close in the DRS here, but not quite. Maybe on lap 11, the gap is 4 3 2 Lando Norris not quite close enough for a dive bomb, but surely now with the assist, yeah, I mean that's it, done. Like, I mean, we are straight line speed. I don't know what it would take for us not to overtake him. But moving on, we're on lap 15. Everyone else is pitted. Pierre Gasly, 10 seconds behind, but crucially doesn't have to stop again. So Gasly is actually the net leader. But moving on, we've had a Haas collect the rear of George Russell, who's had to retire due to engine issues, and also Sergio Perez had to as well. But Gasly, he lost out to Leclerc and Hamilton, and we overtake him on lap 19. But as you can see, look, the gap was 1.8 to Hamilton, and as you can see throughout this big massive straight, look how much the pace comes down, like once you get into the second. But look at that, man, 1.2, 1.1, boom, you get it. We literally pulled like a second on Hamilton. As you see, lap 24, we are all over the back of Lewis Hamilton. It's the closest we've been. We're in the DRS. Surely now Ferrari can make it a 1-2 with 5 laps to go. And we can. It's a wee bit dodgy. There's a wee bit RJ Bargy, but Lewis Hamilton is out the road. And moving on to the final lap. We one more lap. I think we would have got Leclerc. But, you know, I'm not going to begrudge our teammate a victory. And we got the fastest lap as well. Great weekend for Ferrari. Mercedes only scoring with 1 car, McLaren only scoring with 1 car, but most crucially, the Red Bull only scoring with Hee Haw, as they both retired from the race. But good points for Alfa Romeo, Haas, Aston Martin. But as you can see, it is a Ferrari 1-2 in the driver standings. But crucially, 9 points between the top three. And Norris and Hamilton have thrown their hat in the mix too.